Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with McLaren, episode number 49 today for the Bahrain Grand Prix of Season 4, round number 1. If you missed the pre-season episode uploaded last week, and of course the season finale as well, also uploaded last week, then I recommend you go and check that out. And of course subscribe if you're new to the channel, see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode videos. Now, looking at some R&D, Aero I think is going to take a little bit of back seat because we're pretty much level with Red Bull. Sashi, however, Williams have the third best Sashi, so we got a few minor upgrades. We actually did very well to save the upgrades we could. Obviously, I went with the Aero. Maybe that was a little bit mistake of prioritising the Aero ones over the Sashi, but. Yeah, and durability, well, we're down there, so don't be surprised if we might have some R&D failures. But of course, coming into this one then, Mercedes, shocker, nothing's changed really from the pre-season episode to this one. I think Alfa Romeo and Haas might have brought a slight minor upgrade, but considering the fact that the bottom 5 teams from last season all gained on their positions, it's not surprising. Well, when I say gained, I mean in AlphaTauri and Aston Martin, they haven't had an upgrade for about 3 seasons now. In actual fact, the upgrade that I put on the Aston Martin in season 2, that was the last upgrade on the Aston Martin car. That line has not moved since season 2 for Aston Martin. Even a regulation change cannot change that line for them. But anyway, enough about that. One thing I'm going to change, apparently, I'm going to try and force some more driver transfers. I turned the resource rate down to default instead of increase. The acclaim rate for AI is being reduced. Apparently that forces a little bit more driver transfers, and hopefully we get a few more people moving about, and not just Christian Lundgaard as well. So that's the plan. That hopefully those will come into effect either later in the season or in season 5 as well. Might be a little bit too late though with people getting too high acclaim with that, although we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, time to drive this car for the very first time in this career mode. The new car, after a regulation change as well, and I'm going to say now, the Sashi needs a lot of work, okay, because it is very good in a straight line, but in the corners, a lot of understeer. It's very floaty as well, which means I don't know if we need a bit. I think we might need a brakes upgrade, and then also a weight redistribution, maybe over a weight reduction. But we'll have to wait and see how we get onto that. Anyway, well, my business is usual in qualifying, of course. First lap was only good enough for P10. Well, we are improving there, a little bit less understeer, and brake a little bit earlier as well. Going through that for turn 1. As I say, it's only a matter of time before we get this car maxed out again. We've got Christian Lundgaard, my replacement, as well. He is up ahead in the slower. We've 10.5 up on Gasly as we go through sector 1. Sector 2 is where we're going to struggle a little bit with the hairpin, double hairpin there as well. We are gaining time though, 2.5, almost 3/10 gained. Lundgaard really is. Well, he's given me a toe down this straight, but he now needs to look to get out of the way, and he's not getting out of the way. Come on, Christian, please get out of the way. He's in the way. We're losing time. We've gone wide. We've lost 0.5 now. We're being blocked. This is terrible. We've lost 10.5 now through the corner. Lundgaard's still not out of the way. We're only just fractionally up on Gasly, and now we're trying to go past him. We're going to have to go past him, and that's going to ruin my lap. Thank you so much, Christian. We gained some more time at the final corner, but we lost it on the exit. Yeah, and in the end, we only gained 0.5. If we had gained the 3/10 that we could have done, we could have beaten Russell for P7. So Yes, a little bit frustrating there, but you know, there is some pace. It's not the end of the world from P11. It does mean we can do an alternative strategy as well. So it's not the end of the world. We'll see what we can do from 11th on the grid. Time for the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1 of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Stroll, Carlos Sainz, and Fernando Alonso. Russell, Gasly, Giovinazzi, and McLaren. Hamilton, Tsunoda, Sergio Perez, and Latifi. Lundgaard, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, and Esteban Ocon, Joe, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So starting up in P10, once again, thank you to Esteban Ocon for taking another engine penalty. We're going to start on the mediums, end on softs. Apparently it's a tenth faster. Should at least, very least, give us fastest lap as well, hopefully, on those soft tyres. So it's 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the opening round of season 4, lights out and away we go. And it's a miserable start on the medium tyres, as usual when we start on the mediums. The horrific start. Tsunoda goes past. We're going to dive it down to about 5 cars. 3 wide between myself, Giovinazzi and Gasly. Trying to force my way around the wide. We've gone wide as well, and we've got an evil overtake on Giovinazzi. We're going to let Giovinazzi go. A little bit controversial this at the time, and then we're just going to go straight past it back. A little bit controversial there, as well as we're through up to P6. As well as we're watching Gasly. Don't know if he got front wing damage or not, but he's now fallen behind Alonso, who had a horrible start as well. So Alonso's up behind there, but meanwhile at the front it is Max Verstappen leading the race from Charles Leclerc and my new teammate Lando Norris as well. So hopefully Norris can get back in front of Leclerc. And speaking of that, here comes Norris with DRS, and he's going to breeze past the Ferrari driver. Norris having a little bit more speed as well. I think that's just where the AI at with the fast corners, as Jeff decides to offer me a new strategy option, which means stopping instead of on lap 7 on lap 7. Don't know what that is from Jeff, but anyway, we're looking at Lance Stroll on board with the Canadian, who managed to finish. The man who finished 3rd in the championship last year. He's now past Carlos Sainz.
Okay, we can take this lap.
So yeah, we're going to box at the end of lap 6. I feel like we're losing a little bit too much time on these mediums, a little bit of trying to undercut Sainz. Except we can't box this lap because Lando's pitting. So thanks Jeff for that useless piece of information as well. And so we come in the following lap number 7, as we were due to come in. It's just a shame that he must know Lando's strategy, Jeff, and should have said Lando's coming in this lap, don't come in as well. To 2.8 seconds, so not bad. Sainz, interestingly, however, when he come in, I don't know if that was down to me or not, but the Ferrari mechanics have done a very good job and have got him back in front of Lance Stroll as well, as we try and fight through the traffic. Stroll, is stuck in traffic. We dive down the inside of Guan Yu Zhou in the very slow Alfa Romeo. We've got Mick Schumacher, hopefully not to repeat our experiences of season 3 with the German in the Haas car. We breezed past Schumacher in the Haas up to P8 as well. Now we're on the back of Stroll, who's been slowed up by Lundgaard, who's been looks like he's got a vendetta. Double dive bomb on Stroll and Lundgaard. We're going to get both of them there. Great little move there at the final corner, and they're going to give me DRS, and we're going to weave about to break the slipstream from Stroll as well. Dive down the inside. Stroll cut across Lundgaard to give me space, so fair racing there, and we're able to power through and ahead of Lance Stroll now up to. So we've managed to get ahead now. Next up is Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. The Ferraris were 2nd and 4th at one point, and now they're 3rd and 4th. Leclerc, that was on hard as we set a new fastest lap of the race. Fastest man on these soft tyres. The strategy is paying off. Can we go around the outside of Sainz? No, we can't. And we actually get a little bit wayward through this section. Can we have a look around the outside here? No, no making that. We're going to have to maybe set him up for the final corner potentially, because you know we're going to get DRS no matter what from Leclerc as well. Down on the inside of Sainz at the final corner. A lovely little move. Next up is Leclerc, who's very slow on those hard tyres. A bit mistake from the Ferrari crew as well. Do pit him on those hard tyres, and now, well, Ferrari capitulation is complete, because now McLaren are up to set our 2nd and 3rd, and well, Ferrari have lost out as we're watching behind Stroll is Alonso, who's jumped Giovinazzi in the pit stop. Then comes Tsunoda in 9th, who's come out of nowhere, and here we're watching Sergio Perez getting past Lewis Hamilton. How the mighty have fallen. There, and there is, of course, there's Ocon, who hasn't done much, and if we just have a squint back, there is Lundgaard just in front of Schumacher. So Mercedes have well and truly had it this season, as Sainz is now coming past Leclerc. Don't know why they didn't enforce Spinotto didn't enforce team orders and let Sainz go. He's on the better tyre, but Leclerc comes back at Sainz, and that allows Stroll to come and have a go at Sainz. So Stroll's going to go through here. They're going to go side by side down the hill through into the middle sector. Sainz will have the inside to the hairpin. Gives Stroll the room, to be fair. That will give Stroll the inside for the next corner, the hairpin. And Sainz tries to go around the outside, goes way too wide onto the curbing, and Stroll is now up to P4 as we're watching Hamilton is just losing position after position. That Mercedes is dreadful car, and he's now, well, he's way out of points anyway as well. So yes, that fighting allowed me to get ahead, to break away from Stroll and Sainz, and to bring after a very little bit slightly disappointing qualifying, it's a podium, and I will definitely take a podium in the first race. McLaren, getting used to the car, definitely take that as well. Drive of the day as well, from 10th on the grid, fastest lap as well. So there's a little bit of work we've got to do with in terms of the Sashi side of upgrades as well. Giovinazzi as well scoring points for Williams. Russell had a nightmare, came back at the end as well. Mercedes really struggling as well. So in terms of the standings, obviously the same as they are. The finishing order. But it looks like Ferrari are already lagging behind again, and it's going to potentially just be Red Bull versus McLaren. We'll have to wait and see if Ferrari can have a late charge like they did in Season 3.
I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. What triggered your move to a new team?
I told you, if you carried on as you were and you didn't start putting in the kind of performances the team expected, you were going to lose your drive. Well, it's happened.
Up on the podium today. This is a great thing for the team, isn't it?
Certainly is. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win, but you know, I mean,
Great. Well, that's everything.
Lando had a good result today, and hopefully we can, you know, work together as well. We're going to be competitive. Andreas has set this out later, little objective there, but we've now got some R&D points to spend, so we'll look to spend those. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to spend. We got a little bit of weight reduction potentially. I'm not entirely sure. It's either that or rate distribution, but we're slightly behind on that one. On that one compared to the other one, compared to the others as well. I think we'll also need to check the aero as well, so we'll look at that the next episode. At Imola next week is the next episode as well. So anyway, if you have then enjoyed this opening round, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 Drive Career Mode. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.